Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Dark. This is the 4th episode of the 3rd season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you like to watch today's full episode, this is available for the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So, obviously I'm in a new environment, I'm in a new room, and I'm still trying to figure out things. It feels like my mic's not fully at the capacity that it was start of the season compared to last episode, the first try. Obviously I'm just going to continue rocking forward, so obviously if it's not the same, do apologize. I will obviously go through the teething problems. Hopefully you guys did enjoy last episode though, and the information that was revealed, and we did see that Marta is actually working with Adam, which is interesting because obviously we did see Adam kill her at the end of season 2, and then a different version of herself turned up from a different world, and obviously I explained to Jonas everything that was going on, and then obviously she had a time machine and he disappeared and he moved into a new environment, and then we've been learning that obviously the apocalypse is happening in her world, and it's going to be in a few days, and she needs Jonas to help him, you know, stop it, and all this stuff that's going on. You know, we've had Mads drop down again in terms of the timeline and world that they're in. We've had people still in the show but in different situations, and stuff still occurring in, like, Hannah wants to destroy somebody's life, but it's no longer Ulrich's, it's Charlotte's, and you know, it's Ulrich not cheating on Katarina, he's cheating on Hannah, even though he's cheated on Katarina to get with Hannah, and then obviously now he's with Charlotte. So it's crazy, like, situations are playing out, but obviously different alternative sides. And we also seen that Marta as well was in, she was in timeline with the Jonas, the future Jonas, but obviously the Bartos and the Marta and the Francesca that we know, and she gave him a bit of you know, substance basically so they can create the little portal thing, and it didn't actually work for them, and she was used it as a little bit of a scapegoat for herself. So while they was focusing on trying to escape and get out of there using the information and obviously the substance and facilities that she's given them, she's used it as a little bit of a backdoor to sneak off, get a time machine, put it in a capsule ready to go, and boom, she's disappeared from their timeline and gone to Adam. So I think it's really interesting what's going on. I can't wait to see how we conclude the season. Hopefully you guys are excited for today's episode. If you are, please smash like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump in to the 4th episode of the 3rd season of Dark. The origin. We said that we was going to find our way back to the origin in one of the episodes.
Wir werden aus Dunkelheit geboren und kehren zu ihr zurück. Ich kannte deine Mutter, aber das ist schon lange her. Du weißt vieles von ihr. Hat deiner Mutter gehört.
See, we've seen Noah give Charlotte, well, Elizabeth something to give to Charlotte, and now we got him giving something to his mum as well.
Ich muss jetzt los. Ich liebe dich.
I love you. How long you been there for? I'm glad we're getting answers to this as well, because I did ask it last episode, didn't I?
Darf ich sie dir umlegen?
Ich fühle mich schon die ganze Woche nicht so.
Du siehst doch ganz blass aus. Vielleicht solltest du zum Doktor.
Sehen wir uns später?
Ich glaube, es wäre besser, wenn ich heute Abend zu Hause bin. Schön bist du.
I've never liked Hannah, honestly. I just don't like her. 24th of September 1954.
Habe ich bei meinem Papa gefunden. Ines, Claudia, wir sind schon spät. Habt ihr schon mal einen gesehen? Also nicht von eurem Vater? Ines. Jana, jetzt hab dich nicht so.
She's seen Toronto's, hasn't she? Whipped his kecks down, didn't he, when he was in the woods?
Und wie sah der aus?
Als würde er nicht zum Rest gehören.
Ist seine Mutter eigentlich zurück? Ist schon sonderbar, findet ihr nicht? Einfach so zu verschwinden.
Ich habe gewaschen und da habe ich etwas gefunden. Hier. Das lag zwischen einer ihrer Blusen. Ich dachte, vielleicht ist es hilfreich. Er hat doch gesagt, ihr Mann war Geistlicher. Und vielleicht ist es nur Zufall, aber der Pfarrer, der verschwunden ist, zur gleichen Zeit.
Du solltest nach Hause gehen. Wir kümmern uns hier.
Egon, ich weiß, dass da was passiert ist. Warum sollte sie das alles hier so zurücklassen?
Ist schon, was in den Köpfen von euch Frauen vorgeht.
Missing since June the 26th, 1954. That's interesting, that. And does that correlate to any of the dates that we've been told before? I can't, off the top of my head, I'm not too sure, but I was just thinking there, do you know when he was with he was with Hannah or Katerina, whoever she's telling herself, you know, like in that room, the same cycle's just appearing again. But again, this is not even an alternate world. She's just gone back in time and it's the same. You know, she started with taking a married man off somebody else. We've seen it with Ulrich, now we're seeing it with Ergon. And the question that we always say is that always happened? You know what I mean? Or is this new? Or was that always meant to be? And it's interesting that she's disappeared for 3 months. I was a bit confused there when he's having a conversation when them girls were sat down, because I was thinking that they were saying Egon's wife, Doris, was disappeared. And I was like, really? That's interesting. But no, it's actually Agnes. And I raised a question as well about Agnes, you know, not just about Hannah. Like, is it, you know, is the timeline that she's gone to, is it all disappeared because it's from the Jonas world and we're focusing now on the new one? But no, obviously that's been brought into this season. It's been brought into today's episode. But like, again, I've always said, what's going on with these founders? And with her, she killed her brother, and I think it's a brother. Well, she killed him anyway, you know. She was the one from Adam's request that killed Noah. And what is it and why, and what is their bigger story? You know what I mean? And the fact is that these have been alive for ages and they've never really aged at all. Now we've seen Jonas, Adam, whatever, he's aged, but these people don't. You know, considering that Noah was Elizabeth's dad, no, sorry, Charlotte's dad. Is that right? Yeah, Noah married Elizabeth, who had Charlotte. He's the same age as Charlotte, but yeah, clearly he had like 30 odd years before, 40 years before. So like, I don't understand that they've not aged either. Now, Ulrich aged in their timeline when he went back into 86 and he moved forward. He's really old. You know what I mean? But like, this Noah hasn't, and this, you know, Agnes hasn't. So I don't really know with that one. It's interesting.
Du hast dich für die richtige Seite entschieden.
Agnes, you've chosen the correct side.
Vergiss das nicht. Du musst ihn Claudia geben.
Wirst du es Martha sagen, was der Ursprung wirklich ist?
Tell me what the origin really is as well.
Ich habe mich das alle Jahre gefragt, warum du uns in 1888 im Stich gelassen hast. Warum du uns zuerst geholfen hast, die Materie zu erschaffen und dann einfach verschwunden bist.
This is the interesting one for me. Look at that. What does that say? 2062.
Du bist nicht echt. Das hier ist deine Zukunft. Wenn es euch nicht gelingt, die Apokalypse zu stoppen.
The thing is though, right, we've never really been told how they can stop it. You know what I mean? We've watched it all this time and we still have no idea. Well, I don't.
Sie sind schwanger. In Ihrem Alter ist eine Schwangerschaft nicht ohne Risiko. Sie sollten Rücksicht auf sich nehmen, keine schweren Arbeiten verrichten.
I'm assuming it's Egon's kid, but then I'd be interested to see if that's somebody in the present, just like, you know, Charlotte and Elizabeth and co. Like, it's just always mind-boggling.
Ich möchte wissen, ob es irgendetwas Neues gibt.
Solange Helge nicht mit uns darüber sprechen möchte, wo er gewesen ist, bei wem er gewesen ist, befürchte ich, treten wir auf der Stelle. Haben Sie ihn jemals in der Begleitung einer Frau gesehen?
Was denken Sie sich? Ich will, dass Sie den Mann finden. Hanno Tauber.
So Doris has gone to that church. That's the one where they always reside in. No way, look at him.
Sind Sie der neue Pfarrer?
Ich war es früher einmal, aber das ist sehr lange her.
Sie sagte, Ihr Mann sei verstorben, aber ich weiß nicht warum. Ich hatte den Eindruck, dass das nicht stimmt. Ein Junge braucht doch seine Mutter.
Es geht Ihnen nicht um den Jungen. Es geht Ihnen um die Frau. Dinge des Herzens kann man nicht erklären. Fragen Sie Ihren Mann.
Oh no, they're letting her go. 2 people they've let go this episode, Tronte and her. Do you know, she's found out that technically, well, maybe she's figured it out that her husband's cheating on her, but like, can you really be that pissed off? Because you're cheating on him anyway with Agnes, you know? It's a tough one, that, innit? Like, you can't be hypocritical. Like, you do something and then you found out that somebody else is doing it, and then you're not happy that they're doing what you technically want to do yourself. You know what I mean? So like, you can kind of confront him, but then again, it's just hypocritical, isn't it? Maybe you could just sit down and have a conversation and just ask what he's doing and where he's going, but you can't really be too mad. Well, you can be mad. Like, I'd be fuming, to be honest, but also she's doing the act as well, so like, you gotta be mad at yourself. Now, interestingly, You know, these guys have let two people go. You know, he's give Tronte, well, to be honest, he said give it your mum, but he must have known that his mum wasn't there, because obviously she's come now and asked, do they kind of know where he is, because she's been missing for 3 months. So it's pretty interesting, that, isn't it? I feel like these guys are unknowns anyway. They know everybody's stuff. They know what's going on with everybody. They're here for their own mission. They got the targets and they know what they're trying to do. They know Agnes is missing. How's she missing, though? That's the question. I'm interested to find out. I don't know who this woman is as well. So who's this girl? I'm sure it's the first time I've seen her. Or I've noticed her.
Was ist das? Es ist wunderschön. Was machst du hier?
Ich mag es hier. Ich schreibe, weißt du. Geschichten. Du hast ein schönes Lächeln.
Again, still not really said who her name was or anything.
Du kannst hier nicht einfach so auftauchen.
Ich bin schwanger.
Ist das meins?
Ob es deins ist? Das, was ich hier die ganze Zeit mache. Rumficken oder was? Meinst du, ich habe mir das ausgesucht, hier in so einem Scheißkaff zu wohnen, hä?
Ich fahre dich jetzt besser nach Hause.
He actually told her that he loved her at the start of the episode, and he gave her a necklace as well, didn't he? They don't think about the families that they're ruining, just the selfishness.
Ach, Claudia. Groß geworden bist du. Lass mich dir einen Rat geben. Fürs Leben. Wenn du etwas wirklich willst, dann nimm es dir.
To be fair, it's not really bad advice, is it? You want something, you go for it, you take it, you grasp it, you know what I mean? You get the bull by the horns. I feel like that's the old guy from the 3.
Ist der Heinz krank, oder? Was wollen Sie?
Imagine that, you'd be fuming, a little kid pulling a gun on you, wouldn't you?
Wir denken, wir sind unsterblich. Aber in Wahrheit liegt oftmals nur ein Atemzug zwischen dem Hier und dem Jenseits.
Was wollen Sie von mir?
Forcing him to sign it.
Eva hat gesagt, dass es einen Weg gibt, diesen Knoten zu lösen. Dass es einen Weg gibt, wie Martha leben kann. Meine Martha.
Es gibt keinen Weg, beide Welten zu. Du musst dich für eine entscheiden. Deine Welt. Du hast gesehen, was in ihr aus dir wird. Jonas, das hier ist genau das, was du dir gewünscht hast. Du und Martha. In dieser Welt seid ihr nicht unmöglich.
The thing is, though, she just gave him a choice there to save his dad. Basically, Mikkel can be saved, but obviously, like, your world will be destroyed. But the thing is, what's the point in, like, I know it sounds really selfish, but what's the point in saving, like, Mikkel if you'll never really know who he is and you'll never really be in that, unless he grows up, Jonas, and then becomes part of that world? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point in me saving my mum, for example, in a different world when she doesn't know I exist? You know, at the end of the day, it is my mum, but it's not, because she don't know me and we got no connection, so it's just another Joe Blogs on the street. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand what she's trying to say, but at the end of the day, I would choose my world all day, every day, if I could prevent it, if it was a choice between the two. Because the people that I physically know and got connections to and live in that one, doesn't matter if an alternate version of themselves live in a different world or a different timeline. Do you know what I mean? I don't know them, so whatever happens to them, I'm not really that concerned about. And it might sound a bit selfish, but that's the only way I can describe it anyway. If there was another me in Mars, for example, and my family that I have now was on Mars, and I had to choose between, obviously, like, that one and this one, I couldn't care about that one. Kill me, kill Mars, I'm not bothered. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only way I can say it. Like, yeah, okay, my parents would be alive in that timeline, but I don't know them and I've got no association and connection with them. I try and save everybody that I know and I do care about in the one that I'm actually from.
Du glaubst es alles?
I don't understand how she doesn't, when she was the one that appeared in this timeline when it was happening.
Verrückt. Ich bin verrückt.
Glaub mir, ich weiß ganz genau, wie sich das anfühlt.
Alles, was sie gesagt hat, ist wahr.
Aber ich weiß, dass es einen Weg gibt. Einen Weg geben muss, das alles wieder gerade zu rücken.
Unless that was his, but then she's working with Adam. You know what I mean? There's too many martyrs going on now in this one. There's literally about 5.
Und dieser Mann heute früh. Du denkst, das war vielleicht dein Vater?
Meine Mutter hat nie viel von ihm gesprochen. Und ich bin froh, dass meine Mutter weg ist. Du kannst ihn behalten, wenn du magst.
Jana?
Jana.
Was machst du denn hier? Bist du nicht schon vor Stunden nach Hause?
Wir sind schon spät. Mama wartet bestimmt schon mit dem Essen.
Them bags. I kind of get it. You can put your books in the files, but they look mad, don't they?
Keine Sorge. Ich will es nicht behalten. Warum haben manche Menschen alles und manche nichts? Mein Leben lang habe ich versucht, an Dingen festzuhalten, die man nicht festhalten kann. Aber jetzt habe ich es endlich verstanden. Ich brauche niemanden.
Is it not a thing here, do you know, in their time? Do they not have abortions and stuff? I want to know where her time machine is as well, because she could technically just go back into the present and get it done there properly. Jonas and Martha equals infinite, apparently. Is that Noah?
Du hast sie losgeschickt. Ihr habt ihm Leben gegeben. Und er wird uns unseres geben.
Mate, I knew that he'd be alive or make an appearance at some point.
Ist alles gut? Ich wollte mich entschuldigen. Ich weiß, dass du nur helfen wolltest.
Ich weiß, was du treibst. Mit dieser Frau. Ich möchte die Scheidung. Wir hätten das schon früher machen sollen. Aber ich weiß nicht, was ich gedacht habe. Die Dinge des Herzens kann man nicht erklären.
The thing is, where's her proof that he cheated? Like, how does he even know who that girl is? You know, was Hannah in the office when she turned up at one point? I can't remember. Like, she's only been told what she had in the church. What information has she acquired?
Sie müssen warten. Meine Mutter sagt, sie kommen in die Hölle.
Ich glaube nicht an die Hölle.
Ich bin Helene. Helene Albers.
Heard that second name. Who's that second name now? What family is it?
Katharina.
Das ist ein sehr schöner Name.
Oh, that's who it was. It was was that Katarina's family?
Na los, komm.
I don't know. I feel like that was Katarina's mum sat on that chair just a minute ago. That ibis or something was dropped in. See, now when you look at it like this and she's dropped that necklace there and she ends up having it and it gets passed on and so on and so forth, it makes you think that Hannah's always meant to be there. You know what I mean?
Du willst wissen, wo der Ursprung ist und wie man ihn vernichtet. Das wirst du. Ich habe 66 Jahre gebraucht. Es ist Zeit, dass du es auch verstehst.
In der Schule. Als du durch die Tür reingekommen bist, ich hatte so ein Gefühl, als ob wir uns kennen. Da, wo du herkommst, wie bin ich da gewesen?
You was the love of my life. Was that different? Your hair, a little bit, that's it. Mate, I do love these like vroom things that we've added this season.
Weil hier alles seinen Anfang gefunden hat. Dein älteres Ich hat dich und Jonas zurückgeschickt. Zu einem einzigen Zweck. Ihr solltet den Ursprung erschaffen. Das, was in dir wächst, ist die Brücke zwischen beiden Welten.
Das kann nicht sein.
Es ist der Beginn des Knotens.
Well, that's what I think they're insinuating, that's their kid there, because obviously you got Adam and Eve on the board, you know what I mean? And obviously you've got Adam, who's Adam, that we've been introduced to, and Eve, who's obviously Martha in the future. And we've been always told about the light and the dark, and again, you're always thinking like, who's good and who's bad? Because all the time I kind of thought that Adam was bad, but then like certain things and bits of information that I hear, I'm always like, you know what, that sounds like not too bad. But then you're always kind of told like he's bad, and it's interesting really, because like all last season was focusing on you know, Regina and the mum Claudia, and then like we've not really had anything of him in this season or anything. You know, I think we had the bit of the paper that was folded up and said that she had to get it and give it to her at some point, but and that was in today's episode. But apart from that, not really much, you know what I mean? And it's interesting to see it as well. And I was saying there, you know, technically Martha and Mara and Jonas in that timeline are not really family related. You know what I mean? Like, they are two different people, so there's no bloodlines there. Like, obviously, in his original world, we learned that Mikhail went back and obviously then come forward and then met Hannah and had a kid, and then obviously it was Jonas, and then obviously, if you think about it, he's really a Nielsen, who's actually Ulrich's family, who's got a kid who's Marta, who then now gets with Jonas, it's family. But then looking at it here, in that timeline, he never really existed. He's a different person. He's just like an unknown entity, kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like a being. There's no connection there. But now looking at his mum, and she's pregnant, and she's gone in the past, and she slept with Egon, and she's decided it looks like she's going to leave that timeline. It's making me think that, is he even a Nielsen? It's making me think that, is he actually a part of the Egon's family? Is he a Tiedemann? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Jonas could be a Tiedemann. And, you know, I'm thinking that he may not even be Mikhail's kid. She may have come back into the present or whatever, into that timeline, and just said that she's pregnant with him. You know, he would never know. I don't know if he would notice that the difference, the distance and the time that she was disappeared in the past to be with Egon. But do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't put it past the show to give us a bait and then switch it again. You know what I mean? So, like, telling us that he's a Nielsen, it's like, bloody hell, no, wait, mate, that's interesting. And then, boom, switching it up again later on down the line and say, actually, psych, you know what I mean? She's gone back, she slept with him, he's come back to the forward, not told him, not really related, X, Y, and Z. Do you know what I mean? It's interesting. I won't put it past the show. And like I said, I have no idea how it's going to finish now. You've got the light and the bad, you know, the good and evil or whatever. And I actually don't even know who's good or evil. I literally, no joke, like, all of them seem bad, to be honest. Literally, all of them do. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, you know, we've got the good, the bad, the evil. Yeah, I don't even know what you'd call it, but if you look at the storyline there about Hannah going back and obviously pretending to be Katerina, and she's getting pregnant with Egon, who's then give her some money to go and give, well, have an abortion, do you know what I mean? And then she's gone and she's sat down and she's talked to a girl, and then I'm believing, in my head anyway, that that girl was Katerina's mum. It actually is a mum, because she sat down and she's like, what's your name? And she's like, Katerina, even though we know it's Hannah. And she's like, that's a nice name. And that's a seed that's implanted in her head going forward, that when she does have a child herself, that she may call it Katerina herself, which I believe that she did anyway. You know what I mean? And it's interesting that she's took that St. Christopher off or whatever, and she's put it on the chair. And I think that she picks it up because later on down the line, I think that Katerina turned up at the institution that Ulrich was being held at the other day, and she asked the woman's name and she said it, and she's kind of like stepped back and she's like, do I know you? And I was like, is that a mum? And then she was talking about the necklace and the reference and X, Y, and Z, do you know what I mean? And she's gone in, and we've seen no extension from her sitting down saying that she's going to get him out of there. We're on the 4th episode, mate. You've got to move quick. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8 to go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Literally, it's going to be interesting. And obviously, like, you've got her potentially coming back into some timeline. I don't know where Hannah's going to go, like, because if she's going to return to the timeline where she left, it's not there. The apocalypse has happened, you know what I mean? And then you got the future one, where obviously you've just seen Jonas today with Marta, with the different Marta, like middle-aged one, saying that the older one sent him there knowing that this was all going to happen, you know. The revelation that their son is the infinite, the whatever, the middle bit, the origin, that's where it started, here in this location. It's interesting. You've got olders and youngers and pasts and presents, and of each of the characters, you know what I mean? And then you got obviously connections and new people being introduced. There was a young girl there that was speaking to Tronte who got his mum's wristband or whatever that guy went back and gave him, but why? And he's given it to a different girl. And who is that girl? She's literally just been introduced this season, like 2 episodes ago, and the one that Jonas kind of seen that pulled a gun on him, that asked him to show her the anomaly or whatever you want to call it, thing that's floating up in the sky, when he was in the future, when he was in the Elizabeth timeline, when she strangled him. She's appeared now and she's with Adam here, with Magnus and co in wherever they are. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is her name? Who is she? What connection is she? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's interesting. It's still pure questions, mate. Honestly, I can't wait to see how they wrap it all up. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you do, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.